Stop the rock. Stop the rock. Stop the rock. Stop the rock. Can't stop the rock. You can't stop the rock. Stop the rock.
That's right. It's all about the leverage. When you have ataxia and you're trying to stand, when you're trying to get up, especially when you're walking, it's all about the leverage. There are several walking aids that are going to help you accomplish this. However, you need to make sure that you're choosing the right one depending on your ability and your level of balance due to the progression of your ataxia, the type and whatever. Use what's best for you. First, I want to say that some of you may be in a wheelchair, and that's fine, and some of you may use a walker or roll leader or whatever you want to call it, and that's fine. This video is more concerned with people that are newly diagnosed and still fairly mobile and are needing something to help them to walk. One thing you want to keep in mind is that no walking aid outside of the wheelchair is going to prevent you from falling. When you are sitting in your wheelchair, you can rock, you can tip, you can do whatever, and you're not going to fall. When you're using a cane or a walking stick or whatever, the possibility does exist for you to fall. Just because you have something, it's not going to prevent you from falling. If you lose your balance, you're going to go down. It doesn't matter what you have in your hand, you're going to go down. So please keep that in mind. The first thing that we're going to look at here is the cane. Everyone has seen it, everyone knows what it is, and probably everyone has tried it. The fact is that it's the universal go-to for any injury or illness. The problem with the cane is the fact that it tends to make you lean over, tends to make you hunch, walk unnaturally, and that is one of the things that you don't want to do, is walk unnaturally. When you are standing still, there is no stability whatsoever. It just rocks back and forth, and you can easily fall with it. Next, we have the infamous quad cane, the so-called improvement over the regular cane. If you ask me, it was invented by somebody that was more interested in keeping their cane over here as they were getting up from their walking chair, so that they didn't have to mess around and look at the floor for it. To me, it really does nothing. It offers no stability. It makes you walk even smaller steps, makes you shuffle. If you'll notice how an elderly person that uses the quad cane, they take very short steps. They're always leaning and little baby steps, and it's just totally unnatural. I personally can't, for the life of me, figure out how this thing is supposed to work. When you're walking and your arms are swinging back and forth like this, the cane has to be on the same angle as your arm. If it does that, then it's only on two of the so-called quads, and it's totally unstable. In order to compensate and keep it upright so that it's supposedly stable, you've got to lean over so that you can reach it when you're walking forward. And as you're walking forward, you're taking baby steps. and you're just shuffling, and it's just so unnatural. It's ridiculous. Also, you tend to kick the cane all the time when you're walking. You're just gonna run into it with your foot. It like totally doesn't work for me. Maybe somebody else has something better figured out for it, but for me this is complete and utter waste of time. Like I said, it was, I believe, invented by somebody that would have it sitting there so that when they got up they could just have their cane sitting there by their side. And also, I didn't just dream this up in my head, in my own noggin, but if you'll ask most doctors, including the neurologist that I see at the University of Chicago, who is probably one of the premier ataxia neurologists on the face of the earth, if you ask most physical therapists, and if you ask most people that have used a cane versus a walking stick, you'll find that the walking stick is much, much preferred. The reason for this is that canes are for what is called a unilateral injury, which affects one side of your body. It is actually for like a sprained ankle, for a hip replacement, or something like that. It's something where you lean on the cane to take weight off of your joint or whatever it is that is ailing you on that side of your body. Ataxia is a bilateral condition, which means that it affects both sides of your body. There are some people that will swear that the ataxia only affects one side of their body, but the jury is still out on that one. So the walking stick, as you can see, is much more efficient, much better to walk with. It keeps you upright. You can move it up 4 or 5 feet and take 3-4 steps without having to move it. You walk naturally. You don't have to move it along with every step you take. You got to remember that the walking aid itself is like a third leg. If you have enough trouble moving 2 of your legs, throwing a third leg into the mix is quite another problem. Therefore, the less you have to move that third leg, the better off you are. Also, as you can see, the walking stick allows you to much better navigate on uneven ground. Grass, as you can see, I'm going up a hill and coming down a hill with this. You can use both hands on the stick, and it gives you much more leverage, which is what this thing is all about in the first place. It's all about the leverage. If you are getting to the point where a walking stick no longer helps you the way that you need it to, and you really don't feel like getting into a walker or a roll eater, the forarm crutch is probably a good thing for you to consider. It is extremely stable. There's no give to it, because there's a cuff around your forearm. The crutch doesn't move, your forearm doesn't move. It's rock solid. And when you use 2 of them, you almost need to try and fall. They're that solid. They're really something that you need to consider. Takes a little effort, takes a little bit of getting used to, takes some practice, but they will definitely help you.
We love to boogie. We love to boogie. Jitterbug boogie. Bowling Billy boogie. We love to boogie on a Saturday night. vision of the earth. Blasted his mind, now his need sweet, ready for the moon base grind. We love to boogie. We love to boogie on a Saturday night. I said,